For staying with us. Before I go to CC, let me read a few comments on Twitter. Some people are already accusing us on Twitter of not reading too much into our chances at the Commonwealth Games. I'm a believer. It's Onye and Yemi that are very optimistic. I've always believed that we can do better than we've always done. Ahmed Adeyemi says, women boxer Kehinde Obare of the Nigerian Army is a medal hopeful. I know her personally. She's Africa's best. We wish her the best of luck. And Emeka Dena says, Segun Toriola turns 40 by September. I'm surprised he's still playing table tennis at this level. Where is the next generation? I mean, it's an amazing fact that Toriola still plays that well and still can be beaten by the next generation. And what does it do? The young ones can't beat you. You stay on until somebody comes and beats you.
I mean, that's the obvious fact.
That's the fact.
You know, in athletics, Miro Yali's record is still there.
It's still there.
That's not been broken. So if the younger ones are not displacing
taking up the challenge,
what do we do?
Yeah.
Do we send them packing?
And the guy will go to the Commonwealth Games now, win a medal. So, I mean, let the young ones take the challenge and knock him off. He's a coach player now.
Yes.
But the problem is that who will discover the young ones?
They are there.
Well, I think there's so many. Now, if you check the Lagos Classic, that
We need
been
to do
going
a
on
lot more
since
to
last
discover
year.
the young ones.
Absolutely.
But let them come and knock off the old ones. Sisi, we're happy to see you on Sports Tonight. There's plenty. The Women, African Women Championship in October.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the women, let's talk about the men. 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers were played all across the African continent over the weekend, and I think it is instructive for us and the Nigerian Football Federation, now that the hammer is not hovering over our head, to sort out the future of Stephen Keshi as quickly as possible. In my own opinion, well, I'm entitled to say my own opinion sometimes, I think we should keep Keshi because we don't have time to start looking for another coach. Keep Keshi. I think he did well, and let him get started for 2015. Our first qualifier is just around the corner.
In September.
We don't have time to waste. So let's
Less than 2 months.
Discuss the contract with him, get it sorted out, and let him continue the job.
I think the dilemma of the NFF executive is that they don't know their future. You know, the election will be coming up in August, and
but football is a continuum.
Perhaps their thinking is that we don't
discuss a new contract. Somebody else will come
and you know. So that is always the problem. You know, immediately the World Cup ended, they should have sealed that issue, whether Keshi will remain or not. If they're going to get a coach, get a coach.
Even before the World Cup started, we should have discussed the future
so that
of Keshi.
we know that we already knew that the Nations Cup qualifiers will start in September. You know, we knew before this time, even before the World Cup started. So they should have tied up all that so that a new coach will come and start studying the players and we'll start having problems. No, there's no time. And the Nations Cup qualifier is very dicey because all the countries,
games between now and November.
It's very tight. In 1 month, you have played about 3 or 4 games. And a lot of countries, you know, will fancy their chances. You know, from the Cape Verde experience, they will now believe that they can go to the Nations Cup.
All right, let's show you some of the results of matches played quickly across the African continent. I hope those results can come quickly on your screen, particularly of teams that are in the same group with Nigeria. I think Congo, I think, beat Rwanda. I hope the results can really come on your screen now.
They beat Rwanda 2-0.
That's for the team that will complete our group. We have Botswana, 2-0 over Guinea-Bissau, Uganda 2-0 over Mauritania, Sierra Leone 2-0 over Seychelles, Lesotho beating Kenya 1-0, Congo 2-0 over Rwanda, Benin Republic 1-0 over Malawi, and Tanzania played out a 2-2 draw with Mozambique. These are the results for the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifier. Nigeria will be playing in September. We have 6 games between September and November, and I think it's time for us to sort out ourselves and get ready. Sisi, what's happening to the women? The African Women Championship, the draws held in Namibia.
Yeah, it was made on Saturday. Of course, Nigeria got, let's just say, the easiest group of all. When you have 2 nations that are actually making, when you're actually in Group A, they're making, you have 2 countries that are making their debut. Namibia, of course, they're hosting, but they qualified based on the fact that they're hosting. They've never been to this championship before. Zambia, of course, also making their debut. Nigeria were 6 times African champion, not been able to win it since 2010. And Côte d'Ivoire, at the first time they actually made, precisely, the first time they actually made their appearance was the last edition. Of course, they didn't go past the group stage. So being able to beat Equatorial Guinea, that's the plus they're having. And of course, when they also qualify, it was really a huge qualification for them. So that's the only thing they can actually take in the kitten. For Nigeria, I think this is the easiest group you can think of. Yeah. Unlike Group B, where you have South Africa, you have Cameroon, you have Algeria, and Ghana. I don't envy Algeria at all. They've never been past the group stage. This might still happen in this particular edition. For Ghana, well, they're more like the Netherlands of Africa, so to speak. They've been runner-ups close to 3 times, and of course, 3rd place twice they finished. And for the Ghanaians, well, of course, they didn't qualify in the last edition. 2008, they did not come also. In 2010, they didn't come also. So when you look at that, you discover that it's like the women football is actually going down in that country. But in this aspect, in May, they actually played against South Africa, beating South Africa by a lone goal. And of course, for them to have qualified, that was another huge bonus for them. But I think Ghana will first in their chances of actually see how they can get up from this group. South Africa, of course, Bayana girls, a good one for them. We're able to make it to this particular.
They beat us at the last tournament, in the third place game.
Of course. And Cameroon actually defeated Nigeria in the 4th place game. As in when
they beat us in the semi-final.
In the semi-final, yes. In the
third place
game.
It was our worst record
ever. So we had to go through qualifiers, which we've never done before in the history of the competition.
3 teams from this tournament will represent Africa. 3.
At the world,
so
at the
what
world
our
stage.
target should be is get the semi-finals or get
Our
to the finals.
target is winning it, definitely.
Okay, we should go and win it.
Yes, because when you play against a country like Namibia, Zambia,
You should
Cote
top that
d'Ivoire,
group.
of course, just stop the group, and
then
that's
wait for who
the
comes
first.
second in the
That's
other
it in the other group, and of course,
Get
no
to the
matter
final,
what
you are
happens,
sure of a
I
World
think
Cup
Nigeria,
ticket.
yes, we're sure of a World Cup ticket, definitely. But they can go a step further and reclaim the title. It's been a long time.
All right, Sissy, thank you so much. Well, on Wednesday, we'll expect to see you again. This time, give us a comprehensive review of the league. The league is still going on.
It's still on.
Games
Week
are still being
16,
played.
yes,
There are
of
still
course.
walkovers.
Yeah, definitely.
Teams
more
are
of
still
it.
finding it difficult to travel.
More of it.
Okay, we'll do that on Wednesday. We'll get a review of the Women's League. But let's talk about the Nigeria National League before we close this segment and get you up to speed with the results of games. Let's start from Division A. Mighty Jets beat Kwara United 1-0. DSS beat Sokoto United 2-0. Wiki 2-1 over Adamawa United. Tornadoes 1-0 over Plateau United. Jigawa also 1-0 over Spotlight. We also have FRSC 1-0 over Tip. Kogi United 2-0 over Supreme Court. The game between Nigeria Prisons and Ranchers was inconclusive because there were reports that hoodlums took over the pitch, beat players of Ranchers, and the game was inconclusive and it was goalless when it was on. So we're waiting for the NNL to decide on what will happen to that game. Ranchers claimed that a call went against the home team and their fans descended on the pitch and beat up people. Well, I don't know which side to believe, but that game was not concluded. It was still goalless when it was abandoned. Then Division B. Let's go to Division B very quickly. Remo 2-0 over Gabros. UNICEF 1-0 over ABS. 3SC lost in Omoku. 2-1 to go round. Are they still leading that log? I think they're still on top.
They are still on top.
COD beat Ekiti United 1-0 in Lagos on Saturday. Aqua Starlets 1-0 over First Bank. We also had Stationary Stores beating MFM. I hope that comes on your screen now. 2-0 at the Unicon Stadium on Sunday. That was another game that was played on Sunday. And Prime against Abia Commerce postponed because Prime have a Federation Cup game to play on Wednesday. The same with Insurance and Gateway. Gateway have a Federation Cup game to play on Wednesday. So these are the results for you of Nigeria National League games played over the weekend. Now it's time for me to tell you that I have a very big guest in the house. The next 15 to 20 minutes of the show, we'll be talking to Big Sheg, Mathematica. It's difficult to describe this man. Journalist, sports producer, everything rolled into one.
So many titles.
So please get busy on Twitter and send questions as well to Segun Adegbami. He's going to come in the next few seconds on Sports Tonight. But guys, thank you for your time on the show.
Always a
We'll
pleasure.
see you again on Wednesday. We'll see you again on Wednesday as well.
A pleasure.
All right, we'll go on a quick break now. By the time we're back, Segun Adegbami will be joining me on set.